I would like to give a message of hope and positivity. Based on my observations, the junior doctors are actually quite frustrated that, with this increasing competition, less number of jobs, do they even stand a chance in the UK, in the US, in Australia? What is the future holding for them? Is it even worth taking AMC, USMLE, and PLAB exam? What I wanted to highlight that understand three key things. Number one, every job is specifically targeted to a certain postgraduate level year. The resident year 1 job, resident year 2 job, resident year 3 job are for more junior doctors who are year 1, year 2, and year 3 out of medical school after the internship. Number two, senior doctors, consultants love to train junior doctors. They are not only trainable, they're more energetic, they're easy to train, and they're easy to learn the new skills and carry on to their more formidable and more consolidated training programs. So they're much more successful in career pathways. And number three, you've got to understand being a junior doctor, you need to match what is the requirement of a job. And this is specifically what I'm going to talk about in this video, that how do you align your a very brief professional career after being out the med school to the job that you're applying for. And if you're able to understand that strategy, trust me, there is more hope and rewards for you than you can even imagine. So without further ado, let's jump right into it.
Today, I'm speaking directly to the final year medical student, interns, and early stage junior doctors, especially those from Pakistan, India, Bangladesh, and Middle East. You have messaged me countless times asking the same question. Do I even have a future anymore as a junior doctor here in Australia? With more competition and preferences given to the experienced doctors with postgraduate qualifications like MD, membership exams of the UK and FCPS, it's understandable. I get it. But here's the truth. Yes, you still have a real shot. You just need an approach to your career and a strategy to make it happen. In this video, I'll break it down into 5 key pillars: competent doctor, safe doctor, professional doctor, exams to consider, and having a smart approach for jobs. So let's go step by step. Competent doctor. Being a competent doctor as a junior doesn't mean being a genius. It simply means you can assess the patient, order relevant investigations, and begin the initial management and follow senior instruction during ward rounds and emergencies. Your internship matters. Make it as broad as possible in emergency medicine, general surgery, pediatrics, obs and gynae, psychiatry, general practice. Even if you can't rotate formally, organize it through personal links. Having a broad approach helps. I personally did a combination of 3 months of neurosurgery, general surgery, neurology, general medicine. I enjoyed thoroughly each one of those specialties. It gave me confidence to handle anything coming out from all of those specialties. Now, after internship, try to work in a tertiary public hospital. Now, I know it's hard, but if you can't, large private or corporate hospital. And even if that's hard, then a small but well-staffed hospital only as a stepping stone. Don't get too comfortable in that location. You have to keep on moving up the ladder. Always aim for journalist RMO jobs post internship, and these can help you stay relevant, especially for migrating to systems like Australia and even in the UK. You want to specialize later in radiology, surgery, and something more niche? That's fine. But your first job overseas will almost certainly always be in a general role. During these journalist rotation back home in your own country, you can still participate in audit, research, align projects with your future interest. For example, if you want to become a neurosurgeon or pediatrician or a cardiologist, and you can build a solid case for your career pathway by doing an audit and research in any of these specialties whilst you being a junior doctor in a very general category. Safe doctor. Now let's talk about being a safe doctor. It is the one who recognizes deteriorating patients, stay calm in emergencies, and make basic stabilization decision early on before the senior help arrives. How to demonstrate it? Courses: advanced cardiac life support, advanced pediatric life support, ATLS, BLS, procedural skills course, communication skills training, anything that matters should be there. Also, I'm going to give you a special idea: reflective journaling. During night shifts and busy weekends, write down own 1 or 2 interesting cases that you can help reflect as a team, or if you've initiated something. I still remember those cases because I used to journal quite heavily. Just a quick note on your phone, on a Google Doc. These real cases will become a gold mine for your very specific and tailored interview answers. Professional doctor. Now, that's a hugely underrated area. Professionally means being punctual, speaking respectfully to all staff, handling emotionally charged situations calmly, not engaging in gossip or drama at your work. In many countries, doctors walk in late, leave early, especially in the countries that we come from. It skips hours of work, but overseas systems are like that. They do not value doctors who show up on time or communicate well. But don't make that something to define you. Maintain work hours 8 to 5 minimum, maintain appearance and communication, document your professionalism through strong references. Let me highlight this. Your references will speak louder than your qualifications on the CV. Choose references that you've worked for at least 3 to 6 months. They should be able to comment on your teamwork, communication, reliability, and commitment to learning. Want to make a lasting impression even further than that? Offer to do an audit or research project with your consultant, something they can co-author. I've done that myself both in the UK and Australia, and I still remain in touch with those consultants, and they were very good mentors and very good references who helped me getting to the jobs, because I helped them with their professional development and they helped me get a job by doing a good reference. Now that's called professional branding. Now, exams to consider. Now, let's talk about exam, but don't get too much trapped into the exam loopholes. If you're doing USMLE, that's great. You've chosen a path and you're aiming for a competitive residency programs like Johns Hopkins or Mayo. That's totally fine. But here's my advice. Complete your internship in your home country, which is not an order of preference for USMLE oriented doctors. Get some clinical experience while preparing. Even it's better that you pass the part 1 of your own country specialist exam like FCPS or MR, MD exam, or even membership exam you can do at this stage. Remember, match rate for USMLE is about more than 60% for the fresh graduates within the 2 years, drops down to 40 to 50% by 2 to 5 years, and falls below the third after 5 years. Yes, it's not your choice. You would want to get matched as soon as if you completed the USMLE steps. But do you really want to waste time if you've invested enough in that system by doing clinical observation, research and publications? Would you just stay there? I've seen doctors who have stayed there and doing on and on of clinical observation in the hope they will eventually get matched, but nothing happened. So come back to your country and develop a solid clinical experience. Even if you are preparing for USMLE, don't just chase the observations and publications. Stay clinically active. Clinical experience is the king, even in the US. Now, if you are planning for AMC, that's a no-brainer. AMC Part 1 never expires. You can apply for jobs from your home country. After passing it, it shows a long-term commitment to an Australian system if you do clinical observations here. Same with the PLAB or UKMLA. Once completed, they open doors to UK practice, but then again, invest in that local system. As I said, local observation, local exams, if you're thinking about that, don't stay idle. A smart approach to job. Last but not least, let's talk job strategy. It is a strategy. There's a method to this madness. Your CV is a dynamic document, not a one-time task. Update your CV every 6 months. New procedure, new courses, new audits, publications, new rotations, everything find itself in its perfect form and shape. You do not need to change the fonts and design, just the content, and make it more and more condensed as you go along. Remember, the first page is the key page where you get shortlisting and you only get 15 seconds onto that. Learn where and when the jobs are advertised in Australia. Watch South Australia Health, New South Wales Health, WA Health, and other state website. For UK NHS job portals like ERAS and NRMP, you can develop an application strategy by developing a spreadsheet or a portal tracker. Now invest in a local observation system, as I've told you before. GP clinics are fair game. Hospitals, if you cannot get into, GPs are an excellent program. Our program is built up with clinical procedures and clinical orientation and career guidance workshops into it. So utilize these tools. They are there to help you sustain in this wild method of getting a job. And build local connections. These are the things which will get you local references. It is the same logic as said, which was active in the USMLE. They value US clinical experience. Same happens in Australia and UK systems too. Now, in order to wrap it up, yes, the job market has shifted. But the junior doctors who are competent, safe, professional, exam ready, and job strategic and cool-minded still get jobs, still succeed, and still build beautiful careers. In the last 1 year, we've had about 50 candidates from our complete career guidance course who have managed to find their first jobs here in Australia. And we got them into our clinical observation program. We helped them with their CVs and interview skills, and everybody was quite thankful, and they've left raving reviews on Trustpilot. So do check them out. Now, it's not about being perfect. It's about being prepared and persistent. Look after yourself and let me know your thoughts through the comments, and I'll try to respond to them. And look after each other too. Goodbye.